Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, with me on the block is JoJo. Hi, JoJo.
Hey, girl. Oh, shit. How you doing?
How you doing today, JoJo?
What an episode.
What an episode.
Oh, I'm excited.
Me too. And if this is your first time joining us on the block with Reality Pop, I was plop.
Plop.
Plop. Pop. Please make sure you subscribe right down below. We are just trying to be your new hub for all things reality. So Reality Pop is where you got to go. So we're talking today about episode 8 of Big Brother Canada, and you are liking this episode. I'm also liking Arissa's dress today.
Couldn't wait to talk about it. Loved her dress. Wish she had last week's pumps.
Right? Maybe it was just too overkill though, pink.
Yes, I guess. But I'm okay with pink. Pink lip.
I can be obnoxious in my outfits for sure. So I would probably go super gaudy and wear like pink with like pink earrings with pink lipstick with like
bracelet.
Exactly. I would go too far.
Nails.
Yeah, it would be
bejazzled.
I maybe get a little bejazzle if I thought something exciting was going to be happening, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love the look. I like the symmetry of the top of that dress. Yep. It was nice. It fit well. She looked fire.
Yep.
And she says at the beginning that women are dominating this season, winning the most amount of competitions, which I liked. But I don't like that a woman is targeting another woman. I don't like it.
I'm so conflicted on how to feel about this because I loved this week. I love that Victoria had a target and wanted LaToya gone for her own game. I get it. I don't think it's out of jealousy because of Jed and Ty. I don't feel like that's the case. You do, yeah? I don't. I think she's very much like LaToya is someone that I need out. Take her out. Let it loose.
Well, the reason why I feel this way is, for one, like on the feeds, you probably noticed like she is now doesn't want Beth around because she didn't realize that Beth is now in with the guys. Yep. And even if so Jed's not someone that I really see as looking at all the pieces and the dynamics in the house and really knows what's going on. He said at the end of last episode, like that she's jealous of not being in with us. Yep. If he's recognizing that and articulating that, it's not a thing that a guy usually says. You know what I mean? Like, oh, a girl is jealous of another girl's position because she wants to hang out with us. I'm definitely feeling as though there's other things that are going on that's making them believe that it's kind of a jealousy thing. I do think that's part of it.
I don't believe that Jed is your typical cisgender stereotype straight male house guest in general. I do think he has this going on, and I actually am really a fan of the majority of the house guests this year, which I love. So I think that him recognizing that is just his own looking at the house as a whole and actually coming up with his own conclusions. The fact that he didn't realize that this was happening this week and that who was going to be evicted shocked me.
It is shocking. I know you kind of keep up on what's going on in the feeds. Yeah. And so I'm most mad at that Tina didn't really give her a heads up. It's just a little bit hurtful because like Toya, I don't think she played this week really well. I don't think that she did enough campaigning, obviously. And it's not really in her nature. We also learn on the feeds that she's not really a big super fan of the show. So she doesn't really understand how the game is played. I think she felt it's like, I'm going to go in loyal. I'm going to go in strong. I'm going to get to work with people that I trust and be faithful to them. And she thinks that's going to be enough to get her to the end, which is just a pretty bad read on the game if you don't know how to play. And so she knew that she was a target. She could feel it. I could feel it. Like, it was so obvious. Like, why would you be, I want to work with you, but please stay up on the block? That's just not a thing. And so I'm really sad that they all misread the situation. But I think that they didn't want to believe that Victoria would just be so outright with her lies and like just doubling down like so hard. Like, it was just obviously entertaining.
Yes. Thank you, Victoria, for doing this week.
It's just, I don't think it's a really good for her game. I know she was saying also that she wants to be somebody that's remembered as opposed to necessarily winning the game. So she would potentially like to have, you know, respect later down the road, or people talk about Victoria as a player as opposed to necessarily a winner. And so I'm wondering if her just making this huge move overshadowed her making a good move for her game. Because I don't think it was the best move for her game.
She is on the I noticed once on the live feed, she was looking at the camera and she said, I'm only going to make big moves. This is what I'm going to do every time. I'm going to take my target and I'm going after them every single time. The person that I think will beat me at the end is playing a dynamic game, is someone that I want out. I'm going to be doing that. And I was like, okay, I can respect that. I like Flash.
Yeah, you do too.
I love Flash. And people were kind of giving Austin a hard time about her week of going after Josh. And I thought, looking back at the rest of the week, I'm thinking, actually, that was a great week for Austin. She took out someone that was a lone wolf that could have come after her if they had stuck around. She did say that he was her target. And she came off scot-free.
I guess I wish that if she's going to be making this big super move, I wish that she was just honest with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it just really, she's put a bad taste in my mouth about her character personally. Yes, it's entertaining to watch as a person on a screen. But when I'm thinking about, like, if I was in that house, I wouldn't be aligned with her. I'd actually probably find her annoying. And like, I wouldn't be vibing with her. So I would probably be the person that she was going to be trying to get out, because I'm not into that energy. And I'm not into like making some big flashy moves so people look at me like I'm amazing. You know what I mean?
But if you were in LaToya's position, I don't think you would have hey Dolores, I don't think you would have acted like LaToya did initially. Mm-hmm. She was very much like, I'm not coming after you. Make a game move. Do not make this emotional. I don't know what you're doing. Like, you need to have a little bit of this going on, a little flexibility. And I don't think you would have played the way that LaToya played this week. I think she played poorly. So,
I mean, I'm definitely a better player, like a social player, than LaToya is. I think it has to do with me being an air sign and her being an earth sign. So earth signs are stubborn. She's a Taurus like you. They're JoJo can't make anything they don't want to do. But air signs, though, they think about things, they overthink things, they think of all the different scenarios. And so I think that they're missing in this house air signs that think about all the different scenarios. I think they're all playing very emotionally, even though they're pretending like they're not. They all actually really are, and they're not about. Yeah, it is really messy because it's.
I love it.
So Dolores says, "Oh dear Lord, it was a freaking great episode, and yes, I so love that outfit, hair toss, and bet she did her nails, baby. She's doing really good. Yes, she is." And BBcan has a question. Hi, Chantal. Have you ever said whether you would go on Big Brother? Absolutely, I would go on Big Brother.
Do you hear that, new casting folks?
Dreams, BBcan. I audition every year, of course. I've made it decently far a few times. But I'm never the stereotype that they want so far. Hopefully 10, maybe they'll be like, ooh, super fans versus average Joes, and I can be a super fan coming in there.
I can pretend to be an average Joe, an average JoJo.
You'd have to. Ooh, I think you'd have to come in as a super fan.
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't be able to bullshit the fact. I'd be like, average Joe, yeah, I've actually watched that show, or Average Millionaire, whatever that was back in the early 2000s. I love reality. Yuck.
Do you listen to Matt, Carter, Matt. Anyways, there's a podcast, your husband and wife. Matt used to be on Average Joe, and then now he has a podcast. He talks about tons of different shows, but definitely Big Brother, The Bachelor, like some scripted television as well. So cute. I didn't remember him from Average Joe. Or no, I'm lying. Beauty and the Geek. He was Beauty and the Geek.
Beauty and the Geek. Another gorgeous.
It was so good. And this one, let's just get it all back. Right? No power. Exactly, Dolores. I do feel that she wants to be the HBIC. She wants to be the one calling all the shots. She wants to be the only dominant Black woman still in the house. And I think that her wanting to have that title and taking down somebody that she thinks has a lot of power, I think she feels that she's going to gain that power and not have anybody come after her? Absolutely not. It just makes her just a glaring target. She's not loyal. She lies. She just does whatever she wants. She's unpredictable. That's like for sure someone that I would want to get out.
Yeah,
like
but
no doubt.
if we're looking at the house right now, who's going to target Victoria? I doubt Kiefer is going to want to go after her.
Why? Who do you think Kiefer's going to put up?
I think he might put up the two boys who voted him out. If Tara and Tina are in his ear, that is the new trio. Kiefer really has been pushing Tina and Tara to join him as this.
They have their before 90s alliance that's going on. I just don't think, like, with the way that Rohan and Kyle were speaking to Kiefer, like they don't even respect him in this game. And regardless of the fact that the guys told them that, hey, we're gonna vote you out because we were gonna keep Latoya in, they were in a rock and a hard space. Like they're still not gonna come for you before all those other people. I don't think that he should shoot himself in the foot and get rid of more of his numbers. I just really don't think.
I just want him to put up some boys, and I hope he does.
Rohan and Kyle and backdoor friggin' Victoria, that's my dream.
No, not Victoria.
I can't stand her.
Quit it. Give her a week.
See, Dolores, apparently girl power is obsolete. LOL. Exactly. Another team dependent person out. Exactly. That's why I hated this team twist, because it keeps those lines drawn regardless. Like she said, Victoria said at the beginning of the week, I'm not putting up any of the Team Destiny people. And so it didn't leave a lot of room for anybody else to go up. It's so annoying. I have a feeling he'll target Brayden or Austin.
No. I have a feeling that Austin was throwing that competition to Kiefer.
Yes. Yes, she did.
I loved it.
Throwing it. Because they were talking at the end of that. But we'll probably speak a little bit more after that. So wait, Jed decides, okay, well, I want to know what you think as to the reason why they didn't conclude the episode with a veto ceremony yesterday.
To be continued. I didn't end up watching the episode live yesterday, and I usually watch them live. I was in bed on my phone watching it through Twitch, and I threw my phone into my lap. Furious. To be continued. I think it's the first time that it's happened on Big Brother Canada.
I think so, but like, why? Like, you didn't need to do that.
Just to piss us off, just to make it so dramatic that we're hoping Latoya is going to be okay, that Jed's going to use the power veto like he said he would. Obviously, I knew otherwise because I watched the feeds and I knew what was happening, but I'm thinking, just give us the conclusion we all want, because this episode was jam-packed, I thought.
And like the fact that it just popped up, like it wasn't even any lead up to the veto competition. It was just like, bam, okay, and then it's done. So it was like literally 30 seconds that could have been at the end of yesterday's episode. I really didn't understand the point. People are going to turn in, guys. Like they're going to tune in to the next episode. If they watch Big Brother, they will watch the eviction episode. Like you don't really have to worry about it, I don't think. Dolores says, I agree. I think that Victoria was playing for the cameras, which was great. We enjoyed it, but not good for her game. Agreed.
We'll find out.
Oh, like, I mean, you would probably want to deal with playing with her. I would just like not be down with that mess.
Like, yes, blame Beth for this flip. It flipped on your head of household, Victoria.
I want her to do that because it just like makes her more of a target, and it's just so bad for her game to do that.
Oh, I love it.
Victoria is playing the villain very well. Yes, her strategy is good, but the extra stuff is not painting her in a good light. Absolutely. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining us in here. I agree. It's not really painting her in a good light. They didn't obviously share it on the episode, but you probably would have feelings about this. She used the R word a few times, like in the live feeds, and she's had to have a talking to about her language in that regard. And so, I don't know, just her whole HOH has just made me not really care as much for her as a person. Just as an entertainment, cool, but I'm just not vibing with her anymore.
I still love Victoria, but that did bother me quite a bit, especially because she is old enough for that not to be in her vocabulary at all, especially when you're on literally streaming across the world. I thought it was really insensitive, and for it to happen twice, and for her to even catch it and say like, oh, Big Brother's going to be so mad at me. It's like, just
We
watch
have
your
to do more than twice, because I saw one clip and then I heard that there was at least another clip of her saying, apologize, be like, oh my God, I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah.
And so I'm feeling like there must have been like a third time in order for her to have like.
They contacted her after the second one. After she was like, Big Brother's going to be mad at me. And then an hour later, they were like, come to the diary room. She was like, I don't have any makeup on. They're like, you're not going to be on camera.
Right.
Just come. That's when they spoke with her. But I would have liked to see afterwards, because we had quite a bit of feeds down the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm. Well, probably because like nothing was changing.
Purple ball. There was a purple ball, and I was hoping that was something for LaToya. And
something. No, Jojo. Josh could have been an ally just because he is a woman. I do agree. Like, I don't necessarily think that Austin really had, like, he wasn't that big of a player. I think that it was a safe nomination for her and a safe eviction. I really think that if they were going to start that flip last minute, 30 minutes before the actual eviction, they better make that happen, or it's not good all around. People see what you're doing. People see that you're going in rooms talking to people. If it doesn't happen, your target is pissed. And anybody that didn't agree with it is pissed. So I think that if they were going to try to make it happen, they needed to have had that follow through, or it was bad gameplay.
It turned into a really messy week. That half an hour.
Dolores said, I would buy all your stuff, but what if you and JoJo were on together? Well, FYI, JoJo and I did just play a 100-day game of Big Brother. He ended up winning. I ended up coming in second. There were 16 house guests. So last time we played together, where we actually developed our friendship, was a year ago, where I won the game and he came in third. So we would do very well if we played together.
Yeah,
we would definitely get to final three. We got there.
At least we'd play both sides of the house. We'd be a very, I don't know, we wouldn't have to hang out all day. We'd be like, listen, I'll see you tonight at let's meet up at 2:00 in the morning outside with the hot tub, and we'll dish.
Smoke by the hot tub.
Yes.
Secret smoke.
Sneak a pack of cigs in. Just
they're calling it the smoking crew calls it having a carrot, because they don't want their friends and family to know that they're smoking. So they're like, oh, let's go outside and have a carrot. And no game talk. They're like, no game talk, because I don't want anybody to filming me smoking. So they're like, no game talk while we're having a carrot.
I love that. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah.
Having a carrot.
I can't remember who's part of that crew, but I think it's Tina. Sorry, Tina. I think Tina, Rohan, and Kyle, and somebody else. I can't remember. Kiefer, an independent thinker or easily influenced? I think he's easily influenced personally. But I don't think. But I wish that he was more influenced by other people, because I feel like he sometimes does things without talking it over with people that are bad for, and it becomes bad for his game. So especially like blurting out Victoria to Kyle, saying it was Victoria that orchestrated the flip. Like, he should have maybe thought that one through before he blurted that out to Kyle. So I think that he is very dynamic in like his actions and what he does. Cool, but I don't think it's well thought out, and I think he needs someone to influence him to make good choices. But he does think independently sometimes. What do you think of him?
I think he's a bit of a crybaby. I'm okay with tears, but I think he gets incredibly emotional, and it's like, turn that off for just a little bit, because if people see you that weak, they're not going to think that you're maybe the best person for them to be aligning with. Or like the fact that he can't keep his mouth shut. He really does talk. It's not that he talks too much. It's that he says things that are unnecessary. There are unnecessarily things coming out of his mouth that do not need to be said.
No, he definitely needs to be shaped in like his, and I wish that LaToya, I know she didn't really want to campaign against him, but I wish you had at least said like, hey, you know where I stand. I'm always going to be a target. People are always going to be coming after me. I will take those shots that you don't want to take. Like, just let me stay here. You know what I'm going to do. You're not going to be surprised by anything that I do. So I think that she would have been better for more of them staying in the game, but she didn't pitch herself to these people, and Kiefer did.
Yeah, her downfall personally, in my opinion, is not going to Tina and Tara and having a conversation with the two of them and being like, hey, she knew that she had the other three. There's no question. And she was right when she guessed who her 3 votes were. But I think if she had just gone to Tina and Tara together and said, listen, you two, you're being seen as a pair. I'm never going to come after you two. I would love to be in the final 6 with you. I don't really trust, I'm not sure how she feels about Beth at the moment, LaToya. I know that there was some people were starting to worry about Beth. So if she tried to make a 5 with Tara and Tina, I think that would have been a really smart thing for her to do this week, especially if the Sunsetters are going to be losing a member regardless.
Yeah, and she really just played it really, really not great. Natalie, would we like to see LaToya play again? Absolutely. I hope that she maybe becomes a fan, because if she's not being a fan of the show, like this is, yes, it causes mess and chaos and all that stuff, and great for entertainment. So this is probably why they put in these wild cards and these people that they scout and put them on the show. They don't know what they're doing and they're going to be a mess. But like, hopefully she would go maybe watch the show, learn how to actually play well, and then come back and use all the positive things that she in her gameplay, and then learn some new ways to play and use some of her other strengths to her benefit. Yeah. I'm hoping though, so since she's my brother's girlfriend's brother's ex-girlfriend, maybe if she's able to do interviews, maybe we can get her to come and chat over here with us. I'll see if I can. I'll put out the ask and see if she's able to do interviews that are outside of like the regular junket. I don't know if it's like just ET Canada or whatnot. And I think she's on like a morning show tomorrow, like the whatever. Yeah. But maybe we'll see if there's a time where she can come on and talk to us. So let's keep our fingers crossed and put out the good vibes that can happen. And I think though also you, JoJo, since you got a follow this week.
I did.
Yeah, maybe you tell the people who followed you this week.
Hi, Josh. Maybe you want to come and chat, Josh. I know that Josh watches a lot of these podcasts. I'm not sure if he's watching tonight, but hi, Josh, if you're here. Hello.
If you are, you have an open invitation. I drafted you on my team. You, I think you needed an air sign in there to come and help you kind of maneuver these emotional people. But you were definitely fun to watch. I was really hoping that you were going to be able to pull off the flip. I think that you would have been a better person to keep, and I would have enjoyed more in the game you over Rohan. So I'm sorry that you have to go, but if you want to come and talk and vent and spit, this is the place to do it. So
where's my cheat?
I know. I'm like, oh, I don't see. I've got water. I've got
a teacup. Close by.
Okay. BB says Jed and Ty did not look surprised after LaToya was evicted. They probably knew, their gut was telling them all week that she was going. Like they were kind of like, it doesn't make any sense why she's going to keep her. She's keeping her on the blog. It doesn't make any sense. You know why it doesn't make any sense? Because it doesn't. It's not what's happening.
So yeah, she wanted her kept on the block, so she would be evicted this week. So, way to go, Jed.
How did you feel about Victoria saying after the veto ceremony to Jed, I would never have put up Ty?
I think that was unnecessary for her to say. I don't know. I think they're going to be, I don't know if they're going to be really pissed or extremely pissed with Victoria tonight. I cannot wait to get on the feeds to find out what's happening in that house, only because Victoria set it up today to make them think that Beth is the one that's going to be flipping the house this evening. And she had planned on saying, like, as soon as Victoria got up, like, well, there you go, Beth, you got your way. And you ended up flipping my head of household and putting the blame on her. So, but at the same time, I don't know if that actually happened because Jed and Beth were sitting side by side during the head of household competition. I doubt he would, well, I guess if they were in their particular order, they would have to sit next to one another, but they looked pretty cozy as per usual. So
I don't know if it's just because now the Sunsetters or the 4 of them are, or 3 of them now are the underdogs. Like I'm rooting for them big time now. But I'm not rooting for the oddballs at all.
I'm okay. I would love if Kiefer put up Kyle and Ro. I think that would be amazing.
Salivate. I wish Jonathan was here because Jonathan is so anti-Sunsetters and he's obsessed with Rohan and like Kyle. I'm like, I hate them.
I actually don't hate them. I am surprised at how much I like these house guests and that I'm not actively hating people.
Okay, for sure, collectively, like I
Great.
enjoy
Yes.
them. I didn't like the tone of either Rohan or Kyle yesterday. I didn't like how they were speaking to Kiefer. I was really the condescension and
Yeah, it was aggressive.
Rohan's voice that just actually really irks me. And so I just don't think I'd vibe with him, either of them. So
I'm just fully fine with any of the men going home next week, except for Brayden and
that's it.
I think
Oh,
Brayden. Yeah,
I don't want Jed or Ty to go.
I'm fine with any of them going. I
No.
love it. I'm like, just give me just a house full of women, please.
Oh,
Evict them all.
I don't know if I want all of these women in the house. Like, I can't. I need Victoria out of there. She's so annoying to me. She can
She'll
stay
be
for a
gone
little
soon, I'm
bit,
sure.
but I need it to be. I need it to be like one of the boys, like redemption story for Latoya. Like I need that to be fulfilled. One of those sunsetters, original sunsetters, needs to take out Victoria. Eventually. You don't want that to happen? Yeah, you do. Did you say Latoya is your brother's girlfriend's ex-girlfriend or something like that? I said,
Yep.
no, I said that Latoya is my brother's girlfriend's brother ex-girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's fine.
Yeah. But not my brother's girlfriend's ex-girlfriend. No, because remember she said she's still in the closet in that regard. I don't know if they know that she's open to both sexes, but maybe they know now. I think Latoya lied about that. She would have put Ty up. What?
You mean Victoria?
Oh, Victoria. I don't think she would have. I actually think she would have put up Beth.
Yeah.
She's more she may be pretending to be girl power, but I do think that she is intimidated by the other women that has a hold on those two guys, because she keeps on saying, like, if she's not here, then I'm gonna have them wrapped around my finger and I'm gonna have like be in a good position with those two guys. Like she just wants that spot.
But she also wants the oddballs to target those boys this week. Supposedly. That's what she's saying. But I think she's getting more and more pissed at them throughout the week. The last couple of days, I do not think she is pro Jed and Ty whatsoever.
I'm sorry, you have a lot of connections. You know a lot of people. Well, I actually do, but like, I don't actually know her. I've never met her before. But if they were still together, maybe Christmas time, I would have met her. You know what I mean? But no. Do I know anybody else in the house? Not even any in Once Removed. I don't think.
I don't.
That kind of. Well, I do know Arissa, but that's about it. What else happened this episode? So, okay, what were the Sunsetters saying? Plus, Tara, I think, was there that Victoria overheard because she came in hot, being like, I heard you. Like, what did they actually say? They didn't seem to show it, and I didn't see it on the feeds, but I heard about the rumblings after.
Yeah, Ty had been saying, we really need to get her out next week. She is 100% my target, la-di-dee, la-di-da. They were all in agreement except for Tara, which is lucky for Tara, and Tina. Neither one of them, they both kept their mouths shut. But Victoria had heard. She was waiting to go in the diary room for about 20 minutes. She was in the chair, facing away from them, but they couldn't see her. So she decided to get up when she wanted to get up.
Okay. But this is my question then about that. So yes. She put up somebody that they're close to. She's been lying about it all week. She told them that she's going to put one of them up if they use the veto to save their friend. And you expect them to be super excited to work with you now? Like what? Like how?
This is where it gets complicated though, because they had come to her saying, well, we will work with you. And she's like, I've been saying for how long that I want to work with you, but you guys didn't come back to me, which I do believe was the case. That she very much was like, I want the four of us to make a thing. I want this to work. And they were like, no, we're good. We're fine. Like we're okay with whatever we are. She had a name for them. And then she had a name for them, but they didn't come to her to create the four.
How that went down though was that she went to them. She's like, hey, my God, I'm so excited to work with you. La, da, da. Let me see, like we should get together, blah, 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 blah. And then she left. And like, she didn't stay for that to be like solidified. She kind of just like threw it out there and left. And before they even had an opportunity to go back and be like, hey, let's work on that, let's do that, she already won head of household. So like the timeline is what you like, it's dependent. And then my second point to that is I understand why they would be hesitant to just lock down something with somebody else, because they didn't know at that time if the team twist was going to be continuing. And so if the team twist was still going on and they had to put somebody up from the Destiny side, they didn't have that many people to choose from. So because they would be saving, obviously, Beth. They would be saving Ty. They would be saving Tina. And so that's 3 people out of the 7 possible people to be going up on the block. It's just not, they don't know if they can say yes to that. So I understand.
That makes total sense.
About not saying yes just because they don't know what's going on with this team twist.
I think they also felt really comfortable in the Sunsetters, and they wanted to be loyal to that, which I appreciate. Latoya's made it very clear that she wanted to play a loyal game to people and not lie. Victoria was getting pissy that she wasn't a part of their foursome or to make a foursome with them. But I think the real issue was once they sat down, once the veto was won and the 5 of them are in the room together, and she's saying like, I do not trust Latoya to not flip a vote, because Latoya did come to her during week 2, kind of pressuring her to vote for Ro the 30 minutes beforehand. And that really pissed her off.
I think the piss off came though because she wasn't informed week 1 about the Julie flip. And
probably.
I think that's probably where she felt that she wasn't in with the cool kids or in with the clique or been important enough in people's games to be able to hold what the house plan was. So I think that that's where it started with Latoya, is like, how, like, that's so rude. I can't believe that you're not even considering me. And I think that that's where that rift has started. But I also think that she feels as though she's going to be popular now that she has this power, and
she is.
But like, it's so fake. Like people.
Yeah, but everyone's going to be so like Kiefer's going to be everyone's going to love Kiefer this week. He's going to have his redemption story.
Are going to kiss Kiefer's butt.
I won't be surprised. They voted to keep him. They're going to push that Jed, Ty, and Beth did not. So it's going to be an interesting week.
Big Brother has TikTok this season. It's one of their sponsors. Have you been on the Big Brother TikTok?
No, I'm too old.
Me neither. I wanted to see. And BBCan, Dolores, Natalie, have you guys checked out the TikTok yet?
Anna.
Anybody? Just
anyone?
Curious. If you've seen it, I should check it out. Maybe there should be a segment being like, what's on the Big Brother TikTok every week. So if I get
there was something cute on it today. I actually saw on Instagram, and it was something about like, when you want to make your friends watch Big Brother, say, and then Arissa was pointing, and it was like, you can and you will. Is that what the line was? You can?
You can and you will, yes.
And you will?
Yeah, let's see if I can find them. So Big Brother Canada. Since we're doing this.
Big
Brother CA, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I loved, my favorite moment of the week was, oh yes. Oh. Well, that's from like premiere night.
I just did that.
Looking good. Hi. All bingo.
So we have another good one. Oh, this is the one you're talking about. It's cute.
This is cute.
All right, I'm going to keep watching this moving forward.
I just have to say my favorite moment of the week was...
No, I've seen TikTok, sorry. PV, are you shutting us for looking at the TikTok feed? You didn't even spell it right.
TikToks. They're delicious. My favorite moment of the week had to be when Victoria's sitting on the bed and she goes, what? Oh, so you want me to put up Beth? I'll put up Beth? Beth? By far my favorite moment of the season, I think.
Of course you're going to love that moment. You just love people being messy.
So mess. Loved it. I want to see Beth's face. I want to see her eye like start to turn, look one way and then straight forward. That would have been perfect.
So Laura says, but remember, Victoria in her speech said, keep my name out of your mouth. It's true. It's true. She's so annoying though. I'm just not vibing with her anymore. She has to go as with what was said. Yeah, I mean, she has to go was what was said. She does have to go. She does. She's too much wild card.
I do believe that Victoria was expendable to them. I really do. BBan, what are you laughing at, BBan?
Maybe that she didn't spell TikToks properly. It's cute. That's gonna be a new segment. That's gonna be the Block Talks. Okay, so Toya gave a shitty pitch to Austin. I'm just like, damn it. Like, even if you don't want to give a pitch, it's not it when you say, like, I'm not gonna go around kissing anybody's ass. Like this, don't start it with that ever.
No, please kiss people's. That's Big Brother. I'm sorry. You can kiss ass without even like kissing ass.
Exactly.
So like Austin, like you were head of household last week. You didn't put me up. My first head of household. I'm not going to put you up. Like,
can I?
That's my deal.
Please. What can I do to get your vote? What do I need to promise you? How can we work together moving forward? Like, ask them what you can do.
What do you need? You and Brayden will never go up together if we're at final blah 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 blah. There's such obvious pairs this season, and I feel like that's really interesting. I'm wondering who's going to. Looking around the house, there are lone wolves still. I still consider Beth one. I consider Keith one. Or Kiefer one,
Keith,
but everyone else is kind of shacked up.
I mean, I think Beth is kind of also with Ty. I think that's her.
Is that a duo though? I mean, like him and Jed are pretty solid.
But I think he would keep the girl. They're making out.
Ooh, I don't know if he would. You think Ty would keep Beth over Jed?
Pedals over like bro? I think so.
I don't know. I think they would stick together. I think the boys would. I think they're really loyal.
They might need each other because they're both like compies, big guys. But I don't know. The longer they stay in the house together, the less of a chance that I think he'll choose Jed over Beth. I mean, I don't know. Maybe bros before hoes. I don't know. Buds before studs. I don't know.
Buds before studs. Like, wait a minute. They're both men. Stud, bud.
Before hoes, I guess. So Kiefer though then kind of walks in while Toya's having that shit pitch, and she didn't really finish. She's like, yeah, don't worry, you can talk, like it's totally fine. I think she felt as though she would know if she was going, and so she felt she didn't want to overplay her hand if she was the one that's staying.
I mean, people must have told her that they were voting out Kiefer, that we're not going to be voting out Kiefer. Like, I don't understand. I wish we saw more one-on-one with LaToya and a couple of the other house guests. I would have loved for her to get Tina alone. We were under the impression that her and Tina had a final two at one point, just last week. And now it's like Tina dropped her fast. Quick. She was done. Sunsetters didn't win head of household. Bye. But I love Tina. I'm sorry.
I'm rooting for Tina. I think she's in the best spot right now to win. I was on the stock watch for Rob as a podcast on Tuesday. So she got the highest rating. It was only a 7. So 7 was the highest rating out of everybody playing right now. I think LaToya ended up at a 2. I think that 3 out of 3. I think, the average score was a 3. I think the other highest scores were like 6s.
Is it Tara?
I think Tara got a 6.
I gotta say, I'm like shocked that Tina and Tara are doing as well initially as I had thought that they would do. I think they're actually playing pretty good games. They're aware of what's going on. They're trusting in the right people at times. They don't trust Kyle and Ro. They don't trust Beth. They are right not to trust those 3. And I kind of want them to hook up with Brayden, Austin, and Victoria, and 5 of them could.
Well, they are with the oddballs with Ro, and so hopefully though Kiefer will just get rid of one of those 2 boys. I don't mind the oddballs being a thing. Like it's fine. Like that's the way that things will shake out. I just not really a big fan of Victoria, Ro,
Kyle and Ro
right now.
Yeah.
Everybody else, however it shakes out, I'm totally fine with it. But those people, if any of those people have power again, like I didn't enjoy her reign. You know, it actually just irked me, even though entertaining, but irked them, or it just irritated me.
I just want LaToya to win veto. It would have been a perfect week, in my opinion, if LaToya had won veto, taken herself off. That would have been a gorgeous week, entertaining, messy. Then they come together and they're like, listen, let's squash this. Let's work together. I would have loved all of that.
I mean, I wish that Jed didn't win. Absolutely. Because like, I totally agree that it would have been an opportunity for her to actually play the game and learn a little bit more. Like everybody's learning how to play this game as it goes along with the people that they're playing with. And so I don't think that she had a fair shot, in the sense that it's just the team thing really, really messed up her game. Especially her not being a super fan and knowing how to maneuver properly. I think being like a target basically from week one, just because of the fact that you lost a competition and there's only one of 6 people to be evicted, it just made it very easy for everything she did to be on blast. And the flip though that happened, like, was the team twist still there? The team twist was still in play when she tried to do the flip. So it was always going to be within the defender team anyway. So it's just like, I don't know. It
is absolutely set up the season for it to be going the way it's been going. Yeah.
Entertaining, but I don't know if Okay, we were talking about this, BB. To an outsider, Tina seems to have the strongest Canadian accent, LOL. So I don't know if we talked about this before, but Jojo is from the same kind of area as Tina. He's actually there now. And so he's been there for, I guess, the last month and a half or so. And I was talking to him before we came live, and his accent is in full force. He's got it. Can you say any typical East Coaster?
It's right hard to even like try right there to even go to something that's right easy on my tongue. It just happens. I don't even know. Like it's rough. And if I try and get in my car and go down to the bar, and if my father's there, I'm gonna say, "Fuck, bye. Who the fuck do you think you fucking are?"
I can't believe you're
the fucking bar.
Oh my god! Soft. I don't know if I would be friends with you if I knew.
I worked really hard on not having an accent for the majority of my life, but whenever I like talking to my mom on the phone or whenever I come home to visit, I'm like, oh no, it's coming out. I just let it happen. She's from Newfoundland, and they're even stronger. Like I'm from Cape Breton Island, and it's pretty thick. But Newfoundlanders, sometimes they need closed captioning. It's even. I'm like, oh, is that? It's like I have to read lips while I'm like, okay, yeah, you're missing 12 teeth, but that was so shady. I'm sorry.
I mean, I have only been to Halifax, and I've been to New Brunswick.
Yeah, Halifax is like the posh area of. That's where like Emmett lives.
But I know he doesn't. He hides it, but it slips out sometimes. I heard it today. That's where he's from, like same spot ish, like very close.
Yes. Tina. Bye. I love Tina though.
Love the BB Bingo dares. How was that? Was there any dare that you wouldn't have done? I don't think so,
but what I wouldn't have done. I would have done every single. I would have been happily. Oh,
Jojo,
okay, Dolores.
He is so sexy, isn't he?
That's so sexy. Yeah, I would have done every single dare for sure. Would have loved it.
The dares that they had were so Beth had to say the alphabet backwards. Braden had to.
That was the hardest one, I thought.
Very difficult. I was thinking, I'm like, ooh, I better practice that and have that all rolling off my tongue because I feel like it will come in handy one of these days.
In life.
I do practice weird things just in case it comes in handy. So I'm going to learn the alphabet backwards.
Yes.
Braden had to do a hot tub dip, Kiefer had to put an ice water down his pants.
Yes.
Rohan had to
eggs.
put an egg on his head.
Kyle as well.
Sorry?
Kyle as well. There was double eggs.
I didn't see that one. Jed had to do an impression of the other house guests, and somebody else did too, but I only saw Jed. Poor Tara had to roll a potato on the floor with her nose. That sucked. But I would do it. Brayden had to ask Beth to marry him, and they smoocheroo. Ooh. Who got the pie in the face?
Oh, Ro got a pie in the face, and another man got a pie in the face. Who was the other one? Two of the guys did.
Yeah, I didn't see who it was. I just saw the face done. Ice cream, getting into an ice cream tub.
Yeah, that was some slushy ice cream.
What?
That was A, a waste of ice cream.
Waste of ice cream.
B, so slushy. It just like
maybe it was like an ice cream float, and they didn't add the float part. Just
throw in some Coca-Cola and make a float. Have you ever had a float? I used to love floats when I was a kid.
I was never really down with milk with like other flavors, and like I didn't like milk with Coca-Cola. Like I didn't really. I've tried a paralyzer before, which is like an alcoholic float.
Yep.
It tastes good, but just the thought of mixing milk stuff with like juices and stuff, like it just kind of grosses me out.
Oh, do you know who has the best floats? I don't know if they still do it, but A&W used to have incredible floats with like root beer and then this little cup of ice cream on top. It was incredible. I used to get it on break when I worked at the Eden Center. I worked at H&M when it first opened there for about 3 months, and my name tag said Zach Slater. Or no, Zach, whatever the guy from Saved by the Bell's last name is. Zach Morris.
Morris. Mm-hmm.
And I would pretend, because I had like this bleached blonde hair, and I just pretended to be Zach Morris while I worked there for 3 months. It was a nightmare of a job. But during my breaks, I would go down and get to A&W and get a little float. Just sit there and be like,
oh. I used to work at Eaton Center as well. I worked at Mendocino.
Oh, okay.
A long time ago, in like 1999, I think it was. So,
yeah,
you're
a while back. Back in the day.
Way back. So Kiefer's team was the winning team. The ice cream tub was where it's at. He pulled out, I don't remember what, B something, and they win a pizza party. I was like, that's a fun activity. I like that I feel like it was OLG inspired, I'm assuming. Yeah. I don't mind that they have this as a sponsor, because I feel like they had somebody from the creative team that's come in, that's had some really good ideas. Like I liked all the OLG inspired competition. So it was cute.
I want them to have fun. I love these types of segments. I think it brings like something more to the show, but we've been really lucky that we've had all the drama that we've had. I feel like this could be a filler, something like, let's put this in because it's been a really shitty week and we don't really have a lot to show.
I don't think that will happen at all this season.
Oh, thank God. But I'd love a nice little fun segment where they can actually have fun.
Too is that like I love playing these games and watching these games and want to experience this because of the connection that you end up making with these people. Like you go through this whirlwind of like feelings, emotions, gameplay, like feelings hurt, whatever. But then you come out as like this like kind of weird dysfunctional family, and you have a life experience that you only shared with these other 15 people. So I think that having more of these experiences, it just bonds them even more, and it makes gameplay even more interesting because it's like, oh man, now I'm starting to like you. So now I might make different choices than when I didn't know you and you were just a stranger. So it does add to me the element of likability, and it makes things a little bit more difficult to make some of the cutthroat decisions, you know?
Or does it? Because I'm like, I could love someone and be like, I love you so much, knife in the back, I love you so much, just die in my arms, I'll hold you. I'm so sorry, this is for money, I love you.
I mean, it would have to be like, because it would be for money and I wouldn't have originally known these people, I think that I would be able to be more cutthroat than playing with friends, because I just don't know.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just... But
I feel like if you had pre-existing relationships, that's what makes All-Stars so. That's what made All-Stars so difficult for a lot of these players. Even looking back at like Big Brother season 6 of the American version, having a partner, it's like I could never actually target or vote against my partner unless it was like, oh, you're going home 100%. You're telling me I can vote you out here, not to piss off the other person. Cool, I get it. But I think like if you go in knowing someone, it's like, fuck it, whatever. Let's go. Let's just try our best to get to the end, and whatever happens, happens. Even for cash.
Right, exactly. I wouldn't jeopardize, I don't think, unless I start to hate my pre-existing
That
relationship.
too.
I do not think that I could stab them in the back, even if it was for money. Kiefer was the ice cream float. Yes, he was. Root beer and evaporated mixed together. Try that. That's too sweet. And I don't like root beer. I'm sorry, guys. I know that everybody loves root beer. I don't like root beer. But I do like making Dr. Pepper shots at the bar.
The bar?
Have you had one?
I don't think I've had one. No. What's in it?
You put how does it go? You put it's you get a beer and then it's a shot. You drop a shot of amaretto. Amaretto.
Oh.
And then you slam it. Is there Coca-Cola in there as well? There might be Coca-Cola in there as well. But it's a drop shot. You drop amaretto in, definitely in beer. I can't remember if there's Coke in there as well, and then you slam it.
I'm down. When bars reopen.
I don't mind that one. So Dr. Pepper shots, I'm in. Evaporated milk, I've never liked it. Too sweet. Too sweet for me. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
With you on that. Hi. Yes. Wait, are you with me on no root beer? Oh. It tastes like liquid bubble gum, like fizzy bubble gum, which is just not my flavor.
I love fountain drink root beers.
I like Dr. Pepper more than root beer, I think, but I don't like them at all. But I have them often.
Not often enough.
So Brayden, though, gets chosen from the losing team to dress up as a lotto ball. He was really cute as the lotto ball. He was B9. Yes. I thought they would do something like a cute, like B9 is like benign. So like some sort of like other pun that they could have had for whatever letter or the letter combo that they use, but I don't think they thought about it. But he was a cute little ball.
Was.
What do you think about the Beth conversation with Tina outside? Beth was kind of fiddling with her nails and talking. Like, was she just trying to pretend like she wasn't engaged in game talk with Tina in case people saw them, or was she caring?
It felt that way, but at the same time, that should have been a huge red flag for Beth. If Beth was assuming that LaToya was staying, I think that conversation in itself should have steamrolled so much more about what was actually happening that week. Because as far as I was concerned, Tina had to vote for LaToya, Tina had to vote for Kiefer to go. Sam.
No root beer. Are there any Canadian-specific sodas?
Is ginger ale?
Canada Dry is, but I don't know. Is ginger ale in the States?
Probably.
Like, do you have like Schweppes' ginger ale?
Yeah. Or Canada Dry and ginger ale.
They wouldn't have Canada Dry, I don't think, out there, would they?
What's that knockoff, like Coke, Pepsi? There's another one. It's a knockoff. I can picture the Big 8, I think it's called. Maybe that's just an East Coast pop.
Oh, I don't know. RC Cola?
Are there any Canadian specific sodas?
Fanta?
What about the creamy one?
Yes, we have ginger ale. Excuse me. Okay, sorry.
Sorry, Dean. So sorry.
We have Canada Dry though, which is is ginger ale is Canada Dry. So
whenever you're sick, everyone's parents are like, get some ginger ale if you're upset tummy.
Isn't that a car bomb? Okay, so an Irish car bomb, Dolores, is so like 3/4 of Guinness, and then you would drop in a shot of half Bailey's, half Irish whiskey, and that's another drop shot. And that's pretty good too. Okay, I'll tell you guys a quick story. Since it was just St. Paddy's Day yesterday, I will tell you an Irish car bomb story. So I know that I seem like I'm really all put together over here, but I used to be a big time party girl. So I was working at a bar, kind of an Irish pub, but it was like a mega pub in Montreal. And it's our job to drink at this pub. So I could outdrink pretty much anybody, and I would have drinking competitions with my clients. So I remember once I was at like by myself. It was during the day of St. Patty's Day, and it was like I don't know, like 10 a.m. and I'd already started doing like 1-for-1 Irish car bombs with this guy, and I was like, got another one, slam it, another one, slam it. And if you leave an Irish car bomb too long, it'll start curdling because of the Baileys. So the guy wouldn't drink his, whatever, and like so finally I'm like, let's do it, let's go, let's do it. So we slam it back. The guy had probably had like 6 or 7 of them in like less than an hour. And he fucking projectile vomits all of. I only got a bit of shrapnel on me, but it was like all over my computer screen, all over my bar. He completely just barfed his entire car bomb all over me on St. Patty's Day at like 11 a.m.
Legally drinking at 11 a.m. Love it. Oh God, Irish. Oh, St. Patty's Day. I can't.
But you're not a big drinker though. But I don't mind car bombs. Crush. Is Crush Canadian?
Crush.
Crush is delicious for that kind of thing. What do they have out there? They have something similar though.
Crush. I can think of like orange pop and grape, maybe Crush. Mm-hmm. And then what's like the one that's white but it tastes like.
It happened to me though. Like this is part of my life history here. This is
story bean.
Canadian specific sodas.
I had some ketchup chips the other day.
Did not stop.
You did not. I don't believe you, BB.
I don't believe that. It wasn't that bad of a story. Like it was just a little bit of curdled Baileys. Don't worry about it. And it was on me, not you. So then we hear that Tina is only loyal to Tara, and that's where we kind of find out that like, well, the audience finds out. If you're watching the feeds, you knew that Tara and Tina were more of an item than Tina and Toya. I really wish though that Tina just talked to Toya and just tell her what was going on. Like I feel like they could have rectified whatever was the rift in their relationship. Like I know it's that she felt as though she was going to be coming after Jed and Ty and maybe even Beth. No, not Beth, but like Jed and Ty. I get that. But Toya was so loyal. And I do believe that when she says, Tina, you're my final two, I think I believe Toya when she said that. And I don't think that she campaigned that much to Tina because she thought that they were 100% solid. Yeah. And for instance, if we're playing together, I might just ask you once, but I don't think that I would campaign to you because I just would assume that you'd be keeping me. You know what I mean? So I know that we have
yes.
a different relationship, but
I think that's a different relationship though, only because Tina is in such a great position in the house that she could have afforded to go to LaToya and say, hey, let's try and flip this. Let's try and save you. Or maybe she was just comfortable enough with having Kiefer be the one to stay. You know, like she really did seem to not want to vote out either one of them. So, and then looking around, she's thinking, well, Jed and Ty and Toya clearly might be a trio that are working very closely together. I would be a fourth to that if I was lucky, but Kiefer really doesn't have anyone. What do I want to do here? And especially if Kiefer's pushing to have a trio with her, Tara, and Tina, I think she definitely trusts Tara the most, and I think that they're a good little match, a good little duo.
On the stock watch, I put all my money in on Tara right now. So
yeah, look at Tara killing it. I'm proud of her.
I mean, I'm proud of her. I think that everybody else, all the big dogs, are going to be taking shots at each other back and forth for a while. I know that Jed and Ty on the feeds have been talking about like approaching Rohan and Kyle and being like, hey, let's take out the floater.
Oh, they did approach them, and then both sets of duos were like, yeah, we're into this. Like we won't go after each other until jury. And then they both directly went and said, fuck that, we're not doing that. we're absolutely targeting those boys afterwards. And they both were talking about it at the same time in different rooms.
Nice.
It was
okay, good.
It was very Big Brother.
I just hope though that Ty and Jed don't say this to Kiefer. I really hope that they don't say that to Kiefer. I'm praying, because if that happens, then they could be in the hot seat with Kiefer, because if he's working with Tina and Tara and they're saying, let's target Tina and Tara, that wouldn't be great. So I hope that they just continue with, let's just get out Rohan and Kyle, one of those two, maybe backdoor Victoria, if that's how it shakes out. Hopefully that's what they push, and hopefully that's what ends up happening. So Rissa comes on the screen. I thought Toya looked fire in her yellow jumpsuit.
Yes.
I think
her purple.
Still thinks that she's not the target from what she said in her speech. I love that Kiefer did a little bit of his Haida language and speaking to his people. I thought that was a nice touch. It just reminds us how like multicultural the whole house is, and from learning about different cultures is always really fascinating. So I was happy when he made his speech, and it wasn't, and I'm glad that he didn't say anything about like, oh, like if I go, like I'm happy with where I am. Like I'm happy that he didn't play that card anymore. He's like, I want to be here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So many people want to be there. Don't say that you don't, please,
yes.
please. But then when Toya, you know, going with what Victoria said, her target is, and I'm like, oh my God, like you still think that you are not the target. Poor dear. I mean, what else is she going to say? Like, she has to kind of make Latoya look bad for completely lying. That's her only play here, but it was too late. She should have won that veto. She should have won that veto. So the vote comes in, and no surprise to anybody that watches the feeds. It was 6-3 for Victoria to go. And in the goodbye tour, she did not hug Victoria at all.
I don't think she hugged Tina either.
I think she hugged Tina. I think I was looking for that. I think she hugged everybody else except for Victoria. That was the only person that
she skipped Victoria in that line, but I'm not sure if she hugged a couple more on the other side.
Can just actually look.
Dying to know.
I really think she did, because I was wondering if she was going to, and then I was like, okay, she did. But I can just look. So I was like, she is icy right now. Like,
I wanted her to be like, I'm a cop. While she's walking out. That's all I wanted her to say. I'm a cop. Just, you know, I'm arresting all of you.
Watching from home, it's so maddening. I wanted her to be playing more. She didn't play well, but I wanted to see her play more. And so did Arissa. Arissa seemed to be a big fan of Latoya. She was kind of like, I'm so sorry, girl. Like, I feel like she really wanted Latoya to
even when evicting her, she said, I'm so sorry, Latoya. I was like, oh my God. Arissa very rarely brings her opinions into an eviction notice.
Yeah, it was very clear that Arissa was a fan of Latoya. And she said, Arissa said, you are iconic. And I like that she, no matter what, she's there for 3 evictions, 3 weeks, 20 days. Actually, isn't this the day that Janelle went out season 16 and season All-Stars? I think it's 2020 or 21. Around the same time,
yeah.
So she's in that, I would say she's still in legend category. She hasn't gone to final 3 twice beforehand, but
we'll take it.
I think that she's still memorable as a character. I can see her being asked to come back to play an all-star type game or redemption series type game or
second chances.
You know, I can see them doing that for her, because I really think that people wanted her to do a lot better than she ended up doing.
Yep.
What do you think of the goodbye messages?
I'm always curious with goodbye messages when it's people that are being blindsided by the vote that evening, and they're still talking to the person that's being evicted. Like, oh, like the fact that you're out here because of this and this. I was thinking, like, did Jed know before he did this goodbye message? I don't think he actually did, but it felt like he knew.
They have to do both scenarios.
Yeah. I mean, Victoria's was really like, she got right to the point, was like, listen, I don't like the way you talk to me, and I don't think you played this game well.
Ty Kiefer, Jed.
The hugs. No, Victoria.
Victoria.
Then what?
Tina.
Okay, Tina got one.
And then she hugs Brayden.
Austin?
I didn't see her hug Austin, Kyle, or Rohan, but it could have just been where they were standing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the hug.
I think I would be very strategic with who I was voting. Even if I was hugging, especially after being voted out, I'd be like, you get one. You definitely don't get one. Or I would go up and go, you don't get one.
I mean, I've never
No.
really had that happen, but we also played an online Survivor together, and I was pretty salty when I got voted out because they used so many like advantages and idle nullifiers and steal a vote. Like they used everything they could to get me out.
Yep.
And I was so bitter because they were lying to me, even though I knew that they were voting me out, and I was just trying to bait them to see if they would actually just like tell me the truth, and they wouldn't. So I was quite salty. It was still jury phase, so I thought that like they would have been better game players and like at least try to get my jury vote.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my goodbye messages to them, I was like, I had a piece of paper with their names on it, and I'd ripped them up, and I told them, I'm like, F you, F you, F you. And then at the end, I'm like, I got 0 more fucks to give. I just did that, I'm like, click.
That was good. That was some iconic final words, if I just say so myself.
I was so bitter, though. I was really bad. So, I mean, I don't think that I would be hugging anybody or making anybody feel better about the situation.
God, no.
Quite deliberate on who I hugged. I wouldn't have hugged Tina. I wouldn't have hugged Tara.
I would have been like, slapped her in the face.
No, I wouldn't slap her, but I would definitely have given them the cold shoulder and made them feel really bad about it. I'm sorry. Yeah. I just like I would be really bitter. I'd be upset.
I'd be like, I'm a single dad. What have you done to me?
So what else happened? Yeah, I didn't really like those goodbye messages. I thought that like, throwing the salt even more in the wounds. Like she's definitely quite prideful, I would say, LaToya. And just how like even Brayden was like, yeah, like the ultimate flipper gets flipped, and like it didn't get flipped. She was never staying. She was never ever staying. There was no flip. So just to make it seem like that's what happened, like it's just kind of annoying, and they're just trying to make her feel like shit. And I didn't really buy it. Great for TV, but when I'm looking at the human moments of this, like I thought it was just a bit of a low blow for somebody that like you're sending out the door. They didn't really do anything to you. They were never really nasty to you.
Yep.
And now you're treating them like garbage. I just didn't really care for that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any need to kick someone, especially when kick them harder when they're already down enough. It's like, just say something like that you really enjoyed about your experience together. Leave it at that. Sorry, the game didn't work out for you. I'm really happy to be here, but you had to go for this reason. That's my reasoning. Good luck with it. I'll see you outside.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. I just didn't like, I know they wanted to make these iconic, like goodbye messages and like, really, but what about just being in that moment? And
I don't know, be a little bit more clever, be a little bit more witty, say something that would like, that's funny, or you can be iconic and entertaining without being nasty or rude. So unless like you're fighting with someone and then that's when you're calling someone a polyester haired bitch, like, that stuff is great because it's in the moment and it's how you feel and you're getting your frustration out and your rage. But we look at Big Brother now. We keep talking about Big Brother 6. Bo and Janelle are like best of friends.
They're so besties. Like
they are besties. So it's like you can go from incredibly heated moments inside the house, but like you're in the diary room. Think of something clever to say that's iconic without going like talking about flip. Like talk about dolphins and how they flip and. I don't know. Be silly about it. You don't have to kick somebody when they're literally blindsided.
Yeah, I felt bad for. I wouldn't have showed. I mean, they didn't show all of them because like they were all just saying these mean things about. It's just kind of like
really boring things.
The witch is dead. Like I feel like they're just all like. I didn't like how it seemed like they're all ganging up on her, and she really wasn't playing the game that they're giving her credit for. You know what I mean?
But a lot of assumptions are made in general, right? People might have thought like LaToya is a super fan and we have to get her out for that reason. They don't necessarily know that she's not that person.
No, I know.
So
but what I did love about this episode was their damn outfits for that senior discount comp. Discount.
I thought everyone looked really cute. I liked it, actually. Yeah.
Like, I'm obsessed with dressing up in outfits. Halloween is one of my favorite days of the year. I used to have all my birthday parties were always themed because I just love a good dress up. So them in their seniors outfits or like they're, going on a cruise ship, like old timers cruise ship outfits. Like I love a good visor. Like, I'm down for this look. I thought they're.
Give me a fanny pack or two.
I always have a fanny pack. It is my purse, hundo. So they're playing shuffleboard, and basically everybody does pretty poorly. Kiefer gets a 10 on his first time around. I think he was second up. Austin also gets a 10. So it's between Austin and Kiefer. I didn't want Austin to win again.
I did.
I didn't. And I think
only because I wanted to go like Victoria Austin, just for the stats. Be like, yes, girls, keep going.
The Destiny team to win again. Just, I need other people to feel the heat a bit. And I just didn't want, it would have been very easy. They would probably have gone up to Ty and Jed, whatever Austin would have. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if Jed went out because he was defender. You know what I mean? So I wanted defender to win no matter what. I didn't necessarily want Kiefer just because he just stayed, and the people that I'm rooting for right now are people that voted him out. But hopefully he'll realize that like they're still not coming for him. Like they just wanted her more than him, but she would stay more than many other people, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week because I will not be surprised if he does Kyle and Ro or Jed and Ty. I really think he's probably going to land on, I don't know.
He has to do Kyle and Ro. It just doesn't make any sense for him to do anybody else. Like
yeah, he should do Kyle and Ro, I think. They should be nervous.
Very, because they were really nasty to him and they were quite arrogant, and they didn't treat him very kindly with any respect.
But watch Ro go out as a defender. Another defender gone.
Right? Well, Ro is less liked in the house, but it could also be because he was on the block or he was on the losing side for 2 weeks. So you know what I'm saying? It just created a precedent for the entire season is these stupid teams. But that's pretty much it for the episode. Let's see what BB has to say here. Will Tina, Tara suffer negative consequences for voting out LaToya, or will they stay under the radar? I don't think they'll suffer any negative consequences. I think that Tina is quite likable and just will be like, honestly, like I couldn't tell you. I felt really bad about it, but whatever. Like she'll be able to say something. They don't seem to get worked up. So I don't think that there's going to be blowback on their side, and then everybody else is going to be happy that they did that. So
yeah, if Beth or Jed or Ty had one head of household, there might have been Tina and Tara might have been a little bit more nervous, especially because Kiefer has won this head of household. I think it's another week of them, the two of them, especially being okay, obviously because of their little working trio, but they did vote to keep him, and others didn't. So there is that complicated relationship.
Well, if they had known, though, that LaToya wasn't the target, they might have just been like, we can't save you. You know what I mean? So that's...
we'll see. I'm excited for the live feeds tonight.
I know. Have you guys, Dolores, BB, Sam, have you guys seen anything exciting happen in the live feeds this evening after the episode? And BB says, if LaToya pulls Victoria over her meeting, will she get a ticket or a warning? Ticket!
Full ticket. She's gonna check out she's gonna inspect that entire car.
Yes.
If every tail is all your lights working, give me your insurance.
Pardon?
Give me your insurance right now, Victoria.
Stolen car? No, I don't think it would be a stolen car. But what a great little recap. That was fun. That was fun. Do you have anything you're working on that you want to share with the peoples?
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I'm working on this paint by numbers.
Ooh, gorge.
Stunning. That's all I'm working on right now.
Amazing. I'm not working on anything like that. I'm thinking of covering Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That starts, I think, tonight. So, do you watch it all or no?
I never watch. I've never seen an episode.
We have 20 seasons that you can get caught up on. It's garbage to watch. It's great.
They all piss me off. The Jenner girls I don't mind as much, but the other three, they're nightmares. Actually, I don't mind the mom as much. I think she's nuts, but I think she's really funny.
I mean, I like them all for different reasons, and I hate them all for different reasons. Well, you know.
Reality television at its finest.
Exactly. Well, BB, Dolores, Sam, Natalie.
Anna.
Anybody else that is joining us here today, thank you so much. We love having you here on the block with us. Please do us a favor and subscribe to Reality Pop, your new hub for all things reality. please do so. Join us again on Monday, where we're going to find out what has happened, the aftermath, and the nominees for Kiefer's HOH. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, somebody says something. Sneaky, sneaky. No, haven't seen the feeds. Okay, great job, guys. Yes, thanks, Dolores. Love you. Bye, guys. Ciao.